Welcome back to Derailed. My name is JJ Lahey. I'm here with my esteemed co-host, Jake Schyvinck. Bad news, right up off the start. I don't have any energy drink tonight because I got a raging sore throat, and so I'm nursing a very tall, very hot tea with honey and lemon so that I can get through this hour. We put a 1 hour limit on this stream for tonight, all right? Because Jake's been talking all day, and his voice is shot. And I got sick, so my voice is shot. So you get 60 minutes. So get your questions into the chat, and we're getting out of here.
This chat is unhinged already.
I love it. I love it. Well, first of all, I love that we have this many people blowing up the chat already, and then it's also great. Two Wolfus wants to know if this is Ghost brand hot tea.
This is true, by the way. Right? Normal time, 7:15. We're starting early. So,
this is true. Unfortunately, you agreed to start 15 minutes early like 6 hours ago. So
I did. I just didn't think I was going to go for an hour plus. I was not expecting to do that. So we kept bringing up guys at the end of my thing. It was like, oh yeah, what about this guy? What about this? And so we had to just keep going, but we're ready. It's a great week. Is it not?
Well, it's a fantastic week. We're talking about the Reese's Senior Bowl. I tried hard to get Jim Nagy himself to join us on the stream tonight. May have to wait a week or two for him to, not be crazy busy. But I think working together as a community, we could bully Jim Nagy into coming on this show,
perhaps,
and talking to us about, pull the curtain back, talk about the importance of the Senior Bowl, all that good stuff. I do want to hop into some of these chats that, because the chat is hopping before we even go live. It's my favorite thing when I hop in here and I'm waiting for Jake like I do every week. And I see all the chats, you got Tool for this and Drew and SDN and Tyler Dershall all popping in the chat. So Tool for this says, do you ever think about how of all the times you could have been alive, you're alive at the same time Ed Policy is? I love it. Who was I talking to the other day? I was talking to somebody who absolutely should know better. I was talking to somebody who's like totally affiliated with like this show, and they were like, "Who's going to be the new CEO or something?" I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me! You never heard of freaking Ed Policy Day?" It was embarrassing. Drew says I
redo the Ed Policy Day pod.
We have a literal song about Ed Policy that starts every episode.
If people don't know,
I do. By the way, I have an emergency cough drop if I have to go to it. But then, the worst thing about that is that you can hear the cough drop like clicking around the person's teeth. And so with my mouth right against this microphone, I feel like you guys would start unsubscribing. And we need more subscribers because right now we have 31 subscribers to our YouTube. We need, I think 500 to be able to turn on like super chats and donations and stuff so that we can, quit our day job and, retire to just do this full time.
Exactly.
20-hour derailed live streams, 6 days a week. Yeah. So.
Yeah, guys, don't you want that? Hour 16 is going to be like, what was on TV today? It's going to be a great segment. We already have these planned out. So,
Tool for this, I'm like 95% sure that you're being serious with this, but looks like you're saying you can't make deraileds Monday through Thursday. I mean, if we have to move it to, Sunday night.
It's got to be, yeah. You let us know.
Goose says the NFL needs to do something about the officiating. Tired of refs ruining the games. Look, we need robot officiating. All right, that's all it is. We need robots.
Well, yeah. The thing is right. Like, we don't necessarily need on the field. They don't need to make the calls. They just need to they can set everything up right. All this stuff. This replay assist should have taken over quickly, way quicker than it has for everything. I don't know why they only did it for some things all year. Right, it was kind of like, oh well, they can't do the face mask thing this year. Why? I don't think it's too much to ask.
Right? Well, first of all, Jake, can you answer a question for me? Nobody's ever been able to give me a satisfactory answer to why do we have like penalties that are non-reviewable? What's the point of non-reviewable?
I have no idea.
Well, obviously they got this wrong and they missed this or whatever, but you can't review that.
Yeah. Well, that's
why do we review anything?
My dad mentions this a lot, and I remember this. Belichick once talked about like why can't you challenge penalties? Like why can't you throw the challenge flag on like no I'm throwing the flag on you.
I have a lot of thoughts about Goose. I want to pin that. It's funny. I want to pin it,
boy.
But look, listen. We only have 31 subs. I don't want it to go down to 30. Okay.
Yeah. Right. But that was good. That was good though.
I have a lot of thoughts on officiating. For starters, the fact that if you win both your challenges, you only get one challenge flag back. Like the refs were wrong twice, and they're still limiting you to only can challenge it one more time.
I don't understand.
Jake, do you remember the year that they allowed you to challenge a no call pass interference, and then the whole year? Do you remember this? It was 2020.
Oh,
is it either 2020 or 2021? Do you remember this?
Yes. No, I do.
It was because of that playoff game with the Saints and the Rams.
Yeah.
So that would have been
2019
because the 2018 Super Bowl, the Rams and Patriots. So it was a 2019 season. All right. And so, people were tracking like how many times coaches would throw the challenge flag on no call pass interference and how many times it would get overturned. And it was like 1 out of like 15 would get overturned because the refs bloated egos were not allowing them to go ahead and admit that they had done something wrong because they hated that this was a new rule that was in place. And so at the end of the year, the NFL just said, well, the refs are not going along with this, so we're just going to get rid of this rule. Like that should have been a wake-up call. And so now you have, this past weekend, you have the ref, with his big pompous ego going out there and saying, if you don't shape up, we're just going to award a touchdown to the other team.
That was the most disgusting thing I've heard on a football field in a long time, man. What are these guys pretending that guys are griefing like in Madden? Like, what is that? And so, like, somebody went and found. So I will say, somebody I follow, great follow. He went and found like the rule, the article, and it's like something like a palpably offensive act or something, or something like that. Is like,
what this is designed for?
You can award a score for that. Like how?
I mean, first of all, the sheer ego. All right, but that rule is designed for like, remember that Cleveland Browns game from like the 70s or whatever, where the crowd was getting so hostile and the refs, just decreed an early end to the game, and then New York called up and they were like, you have to play all 60 minutes, like you have to go out there and play the last 40 seconds there on the clock, and so people are, the fans are like throwing beer bottles and rocks at the refs. That is what this is designed for. Not what we just saw.
Not trying to Troy Polamalu to stop a tush push. Like, man, Troy Polamalu, if this is how it was going to be, like if Polamalu was in this day and age, he might have got thrown out for this palpably offensive act of jumping over the pile multiple times because you're trying to stop a play. Like, honestly, I feel like it would have been very funny if all the Commanders guys, after hearing that, were like, they just got up. Everybody just stood like 5 yards into the end zone. It's like, okay, we'll just not be palpably offensive here. Okay. Like nobody even lined up on the ball. Like, honestly, like that kind of thing. And for the rule even to be in there, so ambiguous, just incredibly unclear of like what that means. So then, it's got me thinking like, man, well, we should just start tweeting about things, during the game that we think are probably offensive. Let's award some scores,
Right.
Like there was, there was like a penalty, I think, on Philly after that drive where Washington was going down. And I'm like, man, that was a big time hold. That's palpably offensive. You might as well give them 7 points for that. Like it's just they I don't know if they're like trying to get memed. I don't know if they're trying to become one for that. Like, just
it's
give
literally
me all that
just
attention. Just give me all that attention. Here's that attention you ordered. Like
these refs,
crazy.
Their egos are so swollen and bloated. They are so full of themselves. You think back to
what week was it? I think it was every day.
I think it was Packers Seahawks this year. I think was the game where at the end of the game there's like 2 seconds left on the clock, and a ref throws a flag just because he wants to lecture a player about like, that he was not lined up or whatever. And it's like the game is over. We are kneeling it out. All right, nothing happened, but the dude wanted to stop the game with 2 seconds left on the clock just because he wanted to be on TV one more time.
Yeah,
I did. I would like some credit.
Okay.
I received a text earlier this week.
Yes.
It says, would you consider being a high school football official? And I replied to this very good person. My emphatic no has nothing to do with you and everything to do with high school officiating. I would consider many things with you that don't involve getting yelled at by sports parents. And he said, LOL, but you'll have power, that little yellow flag of power. I said, aha! I knew that was why people became zebras. My suspicions were right all along.
There it is. Yeah.
He said, think about it, son. We can talk about it more in May. And I said, I don't need to think about it. I'm a firm no. Don't ask me again. Yeah. I'm not going to become a zebra.
Yeah, you have some power. It's like, oh, interesting.
Tyler Dershel.
Do I?
Drew has a good point. Is the time to bring out these obscure rules really in the playoffs? Amen, brother. So Dershel has been trying to tell us a story about how he...
Like, Washington's trying to stop Philly, man. We get all mad about, oh, they're running up the score. Well, it's the defense's job to stop. Yeah, they're trying to stop the offense late in the game, buddy. They're doing what everybody talks about, what they should be doing down 20 points or whatever it was. 18 points, whatever. Like, what do you want? What do you want?
Dershel's been trying to tell us a story in the chat about how he paid Gene Steratore on Cameo. Dershel, I need you to share the video with me. So
yeah.
If you already posted it on Twitter, you DM it to me.
I would like to get someone one.
DM it, and I'll play it here on the live stream. Unless, look, I trust you, okay? No, camera's up here. I trust you, okay? So don't send me something to play on here if it's something I shouldn't play on here. But if it is going to be funny and it's clean, I mean, it's Gene's territory. Anyways, so send it to us, and I'll play it on here. So I'll watch my Twitter DMs.
Is this comment in reference to the thumbnail?
It's absolutely in reference to the thumbnail.
Which, by the way, let me
see if I can.
That's the best thumbnail I think the show's ever had.
So, wow! Thank you. And that's high praise.
It's not an easy bar to clear either. There have been some really good ones, right?
Well, I think it's accurate to say that the only thing of consequence that I bring to this podcast is banger fire thumbnails. I'm going to hide us for a second.
Last week's one was awesome too. North Running Football was phenomenal. Train was great,
There. They couldn't hear you while you were on screen. You got to start over what you're saying.
Oh, I don't even remember. Oh, last week's one with the
oh yeah. Yes,
it was the football banner, right? You had Notre Dame, Ohio State on there. You had Malik Willis sitting on the train. Was good.
I have the Jake Hayner sitting on the train too. Did you see that one?
That's a good one.
It takes me a couple seconds to upload these, but I can put them on screen here.
Yeah.
Where's my
couple? I think both the lion ones were really good too. Like the lion taming, and then the lion on the throne dethroning. That was a good one. I liked those.
Here's my lion taming one.
The Reese's Cup is going to sustain damage for sure. By the way.
Here, while we're waiting, here's the Jake Hayner. You can see it over our heads.
Enough peanut butter stop a train.
Well, yes, but the question is not can it? Is how much? Oh, hey, speaking of the Lions, okay, so is there a mode I can put this on to where we can see this better? No. This is stupid. Did you see what Zadarius Smith did?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put it on screen.
I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to put it on screen.
Yeah.
This might be the worst thing I've ever seen. Share screen. Press the share screen. Okay. This might be the worst thing I've ever seen. So Z, who you will recall, he made himself or ordered like a iced out bling captain's patch, right? As like a necklace.
Yeah.
He made himself a division champion, NFC North division champion ring. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's even worse because it was kind of like during the year, it was kind of like, well, the AFC North is insanely good, right? 3 teams, 11 plus wins. You got a 14 or 15 win team, and it's like, oh yeah, they won the Gauntlet division, right? That's cool. And then none of them won a playoff game.
Yeah.
So how's that division champ ring looking? Who cares that you were division champs at this point? Everybody
a ring for being one and done.
So you won the one and done play. You won the one and done division ring. Sick. You were the best one and done division team from the NFC North. Awesome. Well done. So,
here's the other thing crazy. Okay, so
that's the other thing is everybody getting happy that they beat the Packers and they're like, we got nothing else better to do.
There's only 5 teams per conference that can go one and done, and 3 of those 5 were NFC North.
It's true.
I mean, that's brutal.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
True says maybe they wouldn't have gotten bounced if they weren't so happy just to beat the Packers.
Mean. That's what I mean. Everybody got hype beating the Packers late in the year, and then the letdowns arrived. So
here, Drew, I'm swapping us.
Feels weird having Jake. Okay.
That's the kind of thing that my esteemed co-host should be fixing while I'm like doing an intro and talking to you guys.
No.
No, I can't click and drag.
No.
Too old for this. I didn't see anywhere if you elaborated on like, are you actually busy Monday through Thursday? Like, is there a different time, or are you saying we have to do Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
We can make a move.
Jake, who's LaJonte? I don't know this name.
LaJonte Wester.
His name is John LaJonte.
Yeah.
Also,
he plays for Colorado.
He's got
some Wan'Dale Robinson to the game, I will say.
It's
a little bit of Wan'Dale to the game. So,
in any other year other than the year of our Lord 2024 football season, that would not be any kind of a compliment. But as you well know, Wan'Dale Robinson. So Jake and I played a game one night.
We didn't talk about. Yeah, we didn't. This wasn't live.
We didn't do it on the live stream. We did it after we had wrapped. Okay. So Jake, if you want to do it, you can pull up the numbers and you can have the chat guess.
That's really
Jake and I played. Who had more yards, Wan'Dale or ... And
targets.
Targets.
Yeah, who had more targets? Because like it is truly insane when you look at because we were doing yards per target, and I was talking about like how insane the yards per target is for Wan'Dale Robinson, right? Because if you look at guys who have over 100 targets, you would like to see them hit 1,000 yards, and Wan'Dale Robinson had so many targets, he didn't clear 700 yards. He had 699 yards of the season. So I was asking JJ, like, okay, so who had more targets this year, right? Wan'Dale Robinson or, put a receiver in here, right? And a lot of the time it was tough, right? So, like, here's one for you, for the chat here. Who had more targets this year, Wan'Dale Robinson or Courtland Sutton?
Put your answer in the chat. You can't look it up.
More?
If you cheat,
don't look it up.
Then you suck.
Don't look it up. But, like, who had more, right? Yeah, it's an officiating thing,
Okay, Dershel says Wan'Dale. 12 for this says Stutton.
Stutton on the haters.
Drew says Wan'Dale. And 2 for this also votes for
Sutton. 2 votes for Sutton also.
All right, we're 2 for 2.
Okay, so the answer is Wan'Dale Robinson. Who had more targets, Wan'Dale Robinson or DJ Moore?
More targets?
Yeah, with more targets.
See, I can't remember the answers anymore, so I'm going to go...
Yeah, right?
I'm going to go Wan'Dale.
Okay.
I can't remember these anymore. I don't remember a single
Robinson
one of them.
Because he gets all the screens. I was right. No, Sutton had less. Believe it or not. Sutton had less. DJ is screen
Dershel
merchant.
says DJ's a screen merchant.
But then Drew also says Robinson because he gets all those screens. That's funny.
Okay. They're having a screen off.
Yeah, these boys be having a screen off. So this Goose says Robinson. So this one's a trick question. They actually both had 140. Both Moore and Robinson at 140. I said Robinson. Read the chat. All right.
2-0 for this, yeah, because you're not the one who we're making fun of for voting the same guy spelled different ways.
Like, and then like we kept doing that. Yeah, 140 is what Robinson had. You heard me when I said he didn't get 700 yards this year. He had. This is where it gets like insane. Like he had. I'm not joking, right? When you talk about like players this year. A lot of guys got hurt, so there was, less to go around. But like somebody like Terry McLaurin was clearly the number one dominant force this year. Wan'Dale Robinson had 23 more targets than McLaurin did.
Jeez.
He had 23 more. McLaurin had 117. Wan'Dale had 140. Wan'Dale had he is T12 in targets this year. Overall. The guys ahead of him are Chase, Neighbors, London, Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Bowers, Lamb, McBride, Judy, Adams, and St. Brown.
No Brian Thomas Jr.
Up there.
No Brian Thomas Jr.
No, Brian Thomas Jr. had 7 less targets. Jackson Smith and Jigba had 3 less targets. Kelsey
We're changing that this
less,
year,
man. Kelsey
We're changing that
less.
this year.
So,
oh
man,
Duval.
I hate this because like he was such a good play designer for Tampa Bay this year, and I just think this
is the guy who got Trent
by
Baalke
the cringe,
fired.
man. We've been doomed.
This is
by
the dude
right
here who got Trent Baalke fired. Adam Huddle. Green Bay better go get Wan'Dale, number 1 wide receiver, right?
That's pretty good.
Goose, what's criminal? My Liam Cohen clip or the Wan'Dale stat? That's what I want to know. Drew says Robinson's not a good enough player to get 140 targets.
No.
You know what, Drew? I noticed you didn't get 140 targets this year, so sit down.
But like,
you know what?
Truly,
You know what my answer is to that, Drew?
Truly.
Duval.
That's lovely.
You know what we didn't talk about at all? That Buffalo Bills choke job. Oh, man. That was the choke job of the century. Well,
Tough,
no,
man.
the Lions game. That was the choke
pretty
job
bad.
of the century.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But the Bills, that was okay.
So, is there going to be like a train of like guys should have caught this and they lost? Are we continuing with that? Like Andrews drops it, they lose. Kincaid drops it, they lose. So is somebody in the Chiefs going to drop one that results in the loss? Like we're in that kind of weird thing because everybody was doing that back in 2014, right? Oh, Lions should have beat the Cowboys. Cowboys should have beat the Packers. Nope. The Packers should have beat the Seahawks, and the Seahawks should have beat the Patriots, right? Kind of that flow of like should have beaten. Are we going to get that maybe? Not to completely take us off the rails yet. That's nuts.
Goose,
That's
I can't
real?
post your comment on screen, but I see it.
Drew, is that real? That's the number? 75?
I'm pulling up his stats.
Actually? He had less than Wicks?
So I know that he had the highest yards per route run on the team.
Yeah,
he had.
Wow.
This year he had 903 yards and 79 targets.
That's what it is.
Oh, let me look at regular season.
Yeah,
yeah, 857 for 75.
That. Wow, he had less targets than Wicks. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Well, Wicks is always open.
He is.
The problem is Wicks drops everything. Wicks is always open. Reed is not open very often. That's the problem. Yeah. And Reed has no excuse for not being open.
Dontayvion Wicks' catch rate over expectations is so rough, man.
The U.S. House of Representatives are going to have to initiate a joint executive committee or whatever to investigate what the hell happened with Jaden Reed in 2024 and his disappearance.
Yeah.
Tulfa says Liam Cohen looks like a guy who has an IMDb page for being an extra on NCIS. Fun fact, I have an IMDb page. I've been in 3 movies.
Wow. You have been in more than Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen has only been on NCIS, according to Too Old for This.
Hey, I never made it on NCIS.
Yeah, you know.
Chiefs, Dershel says Chiefs tried their hardest when they employed Tony. They could sign him again and probably win still.
That's actually really funny. That's really funny.
Are the Wicks drops more on him or Love? Bro, if you have 2 hands on the ball, I don't care what happened when the quarterback threw it.
Rough.
It's your fault. If you have 2 hands on the ball and you don't come up with that catch, it's your fault.
Here's what I will say. That's working in their favor. Seemed like both right. The emergence of Wicks and Reed down the stretch was partially because of
Tulfa found my IMDb page.
It was partially because like they needed to elevate their game. Dobbs and Watson didn't have a great second year. Dobbs and Watson bounced back in year 3.
Yep.
And you see a down year. So there's a little bit of fluctuation going on. So maybe Reed and Wicks bounce back, in year 3, and they kind of, get back to the level where we've seen them and maybe go a little bit further than that, right? I mean, if Green Bay gets, first 5-6 games, Jaden Reed, look out, NFL, right? And if they get the Wicks that gets open and also catches the ball, nice.
Dershel's bringing up a very valid point. Wicks has every single year he's been on off.
Yeah.
Every other year.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, his last year in college, the drop rate was astounding.
Drew said, I just want to give these wide receivers one more year to figure it out before we make drastic moves. There's a lot of talk about bringing in T. Higgins or Devontae Adams. I'm pretty much 100% out on both. I do feel very strongly about one move, and that is if Matt LaFleur is insistent that his offense has to have this speed burner, then do not go into the 2025 season saying, well, we hope Christian Watson will be ready to play week 1, because he won't.
No,
and then if you shove him out there week 1, which you probably will because you're the Packers and you're stupid and you do this with injured players every freaking year, he's going to get injured in like week 2 and miss the rest of the year. Okay? So don't make that your plan A. Learn a lesson from David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins,
oh my goodness,
the tight end.
Goose.
What? Oh, and Luke Musgrave and who's the guy that everybody loved who's been a special teamer?
Oh, Tyler Davis
and Eric Stokes.
Yeah.
Okay. So bring it. if LaFleur is insistent that like this is what he needs in order to make his offense run, then go draft 2 of those guys, please.
Yeah. Or they're bringing back MVS.
Yeah, they probably will.
I think
they really probably
will. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit now, where it's kind of like, wow, look at all these things they can do, and like I'm fully on board though. I've gone down this road already as well. Right, talking about Devontae, not really talking about T. Higgins. I'm not about that. But if Adams is pushing T. Higgins money, then no, thank you as well. And like looking at Trey Harris and looking at these, receivers who could be explosive, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, but it's the Packers, right? They're probably not going to be like all in looking early, right? They Mason Thompson, of course, who was on the, who was with me co-hosting for a little while. He was down at the Shrine Bowl this week and said the Packers high-ups, they were looking at offensive line a lot during the week. It feels like it's going to be a trenches draft with some corners sprinkled in there, right? Like, it has that feel to it, right?
It was neglected last year.
Yeah.
Now, there's some freaking fantastic defensive linemen in this class. I mean, I am salivating. Yes. I don't love the offensive line class as much.
No,
like last year,
it's not as
last year, you remember.
Yeah.
And then I've, whined about it every week since the draft ended. Mm-hmm. That I thought that was a fantastic interior offensive line class. The tackles were,
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like that's what we're getting. And too old for this, goodness sakes. It feels like we're heading toward like MVS plus the group we have, right? Like that to me feels much more.
I'm not going to sign up for
that. Which thing? What, too old for the set or MVS?
MVS, yeah.
It feels like it's such an obvious move for them. Which
Drew asked, did MVS ever play with LaFleur, or was it only McCarthy?
No, he did.
He like almost only played with LaFleur.
Yeah, because what year was he picked?
He was drafted in 2018.
Okay, he was. That's what I thought.
So he was only with McCarthy for half a season.
Yeah, I was like, he was 2017 or 2018.
18.
Yeah, because I remember. I mean, goodness, 2019, MVS was catching some crossers. Who can forget the Raider game, right, where he kind of took an out route all the way, like in that big blowout. Like, yeah, he was a big part of. Yeah, doesn't it, Drew? Time certainly does fly. How much longer are you going to keep rickrolling the entire?
Too old for this said I looked like I was half lion, so we're moving on from that.
I see.
Hey, this is a new name that I don't recall in the chat. Kaylor?
No.
Did you change your name, or are you a new person? Welcome.
That's how you take.
Happy to meet you. Time to move on from Dobbs and Watson. I'm right now. I mean, I think Dobbs is probably our best wide receiver. I mean, I think you listed our 2 best wide receivers as of like the end of this past year. So I'm not really ready to move on from either one. I just being honest, kind of could see this being the end of Watson in Green Bay, just due to like really unfortunate timing of the injury.
Yep.
Of like, you kind of have to let him try out free agency because he's not going to play next year. Like, they might try and play him, but that would be stupid.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Because I feel like there are going to be plenty of teams that see what he does and are going to be willing. Just simply because of the speed, just simply because of like, we see how much it opens up when he's out there. We see the gravity that he can generate from just being on the field. Like, teams will probably go after that. I feel like at this point, Dobbs is more. I think he's more replaceable simply because Wicks can do a lot of what Dobbs does if he would just catch the freaking ball.
Yeah,
like he can do, like, Dobbs and Wicks are the 2 X's on this team right now. You have Watson to be the Z in the field stretcher, and you have Reed to be the slot guy. Like, I would love to see Reed get more chances on the outside, but if they're sticking him where they want him to be, like, okay, fine, fair enough. So, like, you have a couple of those, X receiver types, but there's also the concussions with Dobbs right on top of it that you have to kind of monitor as well. It feels like you can probably get the type of player Dobbs is more often than you're going to get 6'4", 210, can run like this, and also had the fewest drops on the team last year by a wide margin. So like Watson, it got to the point, before the couple injuries where it was like, man, like he's doing this thing. He is doing what they need him to do. He has gotten better at certain things. I know we've talked about it on this show plenty, right, of where he's gotten better, of maintaining that speed through some contact in the route stem. Like he does that. So I remember this being a question before the season started too, of like, what do you think about these two guys? And it was like, Watson is somebody I would definitely want to keep, but also I feel like Jordan is the type of guy who would want Dobbs back. And Tool for this kind of echoes that a little bit, right? With the Dobbs and Love have the connection, right? There is a clear connection there of like trust, and when he needs a play to be made, especially in the red zone, like you see him go Dobbs' way. So it's tough for those two with like, a lot of extensions are being lined up this offseason, right? Because of how good he has drafted recently. We're getting, time. Zach Tom, Rasheed Walker. Funny enough, I ran into somebody in Mobile today who grew up with Rasheed Walker and actually FaceTimed him while we were sitting there in the bleachers, funny enough. Nice. Which is pretty cool. So that was pretty sick. So you have all these guys that are coming up for contracts because Goody's done a nice job recently. Yeah, you're probably going to have to pick and choose. I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens. Tom has to be going first, though. There's no question that he'll be the first domino. But, yeah, I mean, Dobbs and Watt, it's very unclear. A lot of it due to injury. So it's a very, very strange point in the wide receiver room right now where, like, the committee approach has worked at times, but if you take one piece out of the puzzle kind of falls apart a little bit. Yeah, I could see them going in really any direction, but I have that weird feeling of like, yeah, they're just going to bring FVS back because he's a free agent.
Well, Drew brings up the point. He said the Chiefs are going to sign Christian Watson if we let him walk.
Oh, man, yeah.
That's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Drew says Watson will play the second half of the year. Here's the thing.
I think
I get
the third.
I guess. Very nervous and very frustrated when people and the team, when Packer fans and the Green Bay Packers team discuss ACL injuries. All right. And there was all this talk about, let's just even take the most recent, big one of Rashawn Gary. Oh, well, Rashawn Gary's going to be ready to play, at this point, or maybe even as early as this point. He finally gets on the field. He kind of stinks, and everybody's like, oh, man, I hate Rashawn Gary. Can't believe we got to watch him play like crap like this. And it's like, he shouldn't even be playing right now. Like, the only defensible reason to have him out there playing right now is just, to get him warmed up and, help him finish his recovery. It's the only defensible reason to actually have him out there. So, sure, maybe Christian Watson's going to be out there in December, January, a year from now. I don't think you should expect him to be good when he's out there. All right? His leg is not going to be ready. It's still going to be recovering. An ACL tear is a 1-year injury to get back to playing on the field. It's a 2-year injury to get back to where you were pre-injury.
Yeah, it's a great use of, when you talk about a prospect who's kind of like a year away from being a year away, right? Once the injury happens, that's the second the injury happens, that's, I think, what you're looking at. I think Adrian Peterson has got this weird mindset in our heads that's created the narrative of yes, there can come back and be elite.
There's a couple aliens in history that you should never, ever compare anybody to.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you can't compare anybody to him. You can't do it. Because we thought, oh, well, this is it. This is the turning point right here. ACLs don't matter as much. okay. How quickly that was debunked. So yeah, I mean, it's clearly taken time. It clearly took Elton a lot of time as well. Like it is, I don't think you're going to see Watson at his full Christian Watson, maybe at all, even if they make the run next year deep into January. Like you hope you could see it, something by then. But yeah, I feel like it would be interesting to see if Green Bay gave Watson like a 2-year extension.
Yeah.
Season, something like that where
well,
yeah,
this
let's
is
get you
the
healthy.
thing.
Let's get you reps in 25, which would in theory be your last rookie deal season, and then you get 2 more. And we see where we're at from there, maybe. But I don't know.
They won't, because we have been proposing that they handle other ACL injuries in this exact same way. We propose they do it with Rashawn Gary. They just don't do this. Elton Jenkins was this example. Goose asked what was Jenkins' injury. I don't know if you're talking about like his most current injury or it was an ACL.
No, I meant the ACL tear.
Yeah.
When he did that. Yep.
But we've been suggesting this for years. Like, hey, give Rashawn Gary a 2 or 3 year extension. That's not crazy money, but like you go to him and say, hey, listen, we know you're probably not going to be able to play for a year. We want to take care of you. We want to affirm our faith in your ability to make a full recovery. So to give everybody peace of mind, here's a proposed 2-year extension. Don't feel like you have to sign it if you don't want to. We'll happily come back and negotiate with you at some point in the future. But this is an option that protects you, protects us, gives us both some peace of mind going forward. That's not what they do.
No. Would be nice, though. Would be nice.
Drew.
Whoa.
My brother has 3 ACL injuries, and the doctor has told him he basically has no extra ACL left at this point. Is it possible to get an artificial ACL? I don't know.
No idea. No idea. Can you take it? Can you build it from other things? Yeah, I have no clue. That's above my pay grade. That's above the pay grade of this show. Please consult with your medical practitioner on this. Maybe even somebody higher up. I don't know.
We do actually know somebody. It's not Liam Cohen. We do actually know somebody.
It's not
who is
Duval. I can't.
Is an expert.
I have no clue.
I'm just gonna DM this person real quick and ask.
Okay. There is no Lego ACL. That's funny. I wish my ACL was made out of Nokia phones. Would be indestructible. Goose says you can get an ACL from a cadaver.
Oh, that's an idea. I didn't know you could do that, but it makes sense.
Yeah, see, this is all above my pay grade. I just work here. Let's see here. Someone said way back, like, why don't we talk about prospects? Yeah, Tyler Jerschel way back was like, hey, let's talk about prospects that would fit. We've gone down the ACL rabbit hole.
Yeah, we had
look at us. You've done it again.
This is a nice time of year because we have like infinite topics to talk about. Like there's still college football stuff to talk about. There's like the NFL playoff game, the championship games that just happened,
which I actually saw today as well. The thing you just sent me about the Michigan.
I can post this. It's good.
Brewing with the receiver, which I thought was really funny.
So this is come on, I need to share my screen. Okay, so this is. Oh, thanks, Drew. Congrats on the championship. Thank you. Very, very happy about that. So this is EJ Holland on 3 reporting. Said University of Michigan has the NIL backing to make a push for 5-star Ohio State wide receiver commit Chris Henry Jr. Will the Wolverines do just that? It's no secret. Quarterback Bryce Underwood needs an elite weapon. And he links his article about it. And then who quote tweeted this? Oh, Chris Henry Jr. himself with a photo of Ohio State wide receiver coach Brian Hartline smoking a victory cigar after winning the national championship game. So that was his answer to that. He's basically saying, "Hey, pound sand." So I thought that was
that's pretty good.
That was spicy.
That is good stuff. Very nice. Interesting question from Drew as well here. What did
you think about the Packers drafting Will Howard? So I have not done my quarterback scouting yet, largely because I loathe this quarterback class.
Yeah, it's fair.
There's kind of only 3 quarterback prospects that are going to excite people, and that would be Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, and maybe Quinn Ewers. Am I missing anybody?
No, the people tried to make Jackson Dart a big thing, like a big thing before.
They tried to make him a big thing in college, and they couldn't even do that.
And regret to inform everybody that the oh my gosh, what is it? Barbershop Quartet. That's what I said. The Barbershop Quartet of Hannigan, Leonard, Dart, and Milroe was a disaster today. It was rough out there. The second practice with the quarterbacks. It was rough.
So I want to highlight the work of one Paul Noonan, who is on Twitter at Badger Noonan.
Yes.
Prolific football writer. And he has a lot of interesting ideas. And he has been doing a yearly series on evaluating college quarterbacks for the NFL. And, kind of honing in on like, hey, who's going to be a success, who's not. And so the year that it was Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, he wrote this big article about like, hey, here's why CJ Stroud is the dude. All right. And so he's kind of done this every year. And one of the things that he's really been highlighting is that there's 2 stats. And this is why, you should always look stuff up before you podcast. There's 2 stats with quarterbacks that end up being really predictive of their NFL success. One of those 2 is completion percentage. Will Howard had crazy 78% completion percentage this year. It was highest in Ohio State history and best in the country, and just out of this world. I think the other stat is yards per attempt. It's something like that. It's yards per attempt or yards per completion, and then completion percentage. And that those 2 end up being highly predictive and correlate highly with NFL success. So I'm actually pretty intrigued. Will Howard does not have a lofty reputation, and that's largely because of what he did at Kansas State. And then, you go to Ohio State, and the immediate narrative is like, well, of course you're going to succeed at Ohio State. Look who you're throwing to. Okay, hopefully you're throwing to wide receivers who are that good in the NFL if you're on a not crap NFL team, right?
Yeah.
So
even if you are, maybe, there's that possibility.
Yeah,
there's that possibility,
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So.
All right, so,
but
watching the development of Will Howard, he came in from Kansas State to Ohio State with the reputation being he's just a runner and he can't really throw it. He doesn't have the big arm, and his deep downfield passing accuracy suffers and all that.
Yeah,
watched him all year, watched his development, and also heard the coaches talk about him all year. And pretty much all of his reads, his plays the whole year. It's NFL type play calls. All right, there's multiple options built into every play. Got all your progressions you got to make. It's not just a 1 or 2 read. progression on each play. And he does a great job of diagnosing, delivering in the like intermediate area of the field. He's like as accurate as I've ever seen ever in college. His downfield passing suffers a little bit because he does not have, the biggest arm. And I think that there's still some work to be done with his hips and his legs to help him get that torque that he really needs. And they were helping him with it this year, but there's still some more work that needs to be done. Some of his deep balls don't have quite the oomph that you need under him. I don't think the accuracy is that bad, but the power still needs some work. And, some of that is just going to be genetic, how big is your arm, whatever. Some of it is mechanics. And
yeah,
I just, I'm not staking my claim on Will Howard or anything yet. I'm just saying I'm not ready to write him off as an NFL prospect. Would I take him in the first round? Probably not. Third round? Probably. I mean, you think about like what the Lions invested into Hendon Hooker.
Right.
I have Will Howard as a better NFL prospect than I had Hendon freaking Hooker. Or Will Levis. Yeah. I like Will Howard better as an NFL prospect than I did Will Levis. I hated Will Levis.
Ritter, Pickett, Willis.
Yeah, I was not big on Pickett. I mean, I think he ended up probably being the best QB in that class, right? Or was that the Brock Purdy class?
That's the Brock Purdy, yeah.
So of course, I actually did like Brock Purdy a bit. I didn't.
But
I liked him as like a college. Like I wanted like Ohio State to bring him in. I wasn't thinking about like NFL success when I said I liked him.
He was like firmly. Like if you go back to like, because he played more seasons than he needed to necessarily declare, but like through a couple seasons there at Iowa State, it was kind of like, yeah, this guy's legit. Like the first 2 years have been really good. Like he's playing well. Like he could get to the point. And I remember like mock drafts having him going like pick 26, pick 35, pick 40 in like that area of like, yeah, he can be this. And then the next 2 seasons was like fall off, nasty turnover worthy play stuff, like just some shaky stuff down the stretch, and he kind of rediscovered what he had at the start of his career. It was a very interesting trajectory for Purdy. Anyway.
Adam Huddle says Jackson Dart over Quinn Ewers all day. It's probably time to admit that Quinn Ewers is probably not going to pan out the way that we all hoped. I've always been a big lover of Quinn Ewers. It's probably time to admit that that's not really going to happen. But I mean, who would you rather have, Quinn Ewers or Drew Aller? For the 2025 college football season, and for to draft them to an NFL team, and you can pick any NFL team for either one of them. You can go find the perfect fit.
Okay.
I'll say you have to spend.
Here's what I.
You have to spend an early second round pick to get either one of them. Okay.
Okay. In 2025 at quarterback, I think I'd rather have Aller, simply because I just don't think. I think there's room to grow for Aller. I think Ewers isn't going to grow in a college system too much. There may be a few college systems that can get more out of him. I feel like he has to go to the league to get the development that he needs at this point. Like he needs to go work with some QB coaches pre-draft. Like he needs to get like that part figured out. I just don't think he's going to get that in the college season. So like I would take Aller as a college quarterback, but I think I would take Ewers' talent more for the league.
Okay.
If I could get him behind Stafford in LA, I would prefer to do that. I think that's where I'm at. Because you see the skill. Like you remember the high school stuff of like the rotational throwing he was doing and just lasers outside the numbers, man. And it's like, man, he's
I salivated.
This dude is
salivated,
nuts, man. And it just feels like he's not like mechanically. it needs work. He's throwing more pop-ups. He's not driving the ball. Like, he needs to get back to that. He needs to lean more into the arm talent he has to get the most out of it. Like, he needs to get more out. He should be getting more out of it. And he isn't. I think if he gets, QB coaches that can, it's a daunting task. There's no doubt about it. It will take time. But man, there's the upside is palpable. It's a palpably offensive upside. Should be awarded 7 points. That's all I'm saying. Just to bring things full circle tonight.
You should change your display name on here to that.
Oh yeah, I need to go figure. I forget what it exactly says in the rule book, but I'll go find it.
By the way, I think we've had comments on screen the whole time, so I don't think people have gotten to see our display names for today.
I think I'm still the same. Oh, it's because of the mobile. Yes.
Dershel wants.
I found it. I'm gonna change it.
Dershel wants to know when we're gonna start doing our mock drafts. I think probably what's gonna happen is you're gonna have to be done with all the really exciting in-person stuff, watching the Senior Bowl, etc. We're going to have to get like slightly more bored than we are right now because there is so much content to talk about. And we have months to do mock drafts.
There we go.
But I'm getting closer. Like I have my draft board all built out and everything now at this point.
I'm ready to do
palpably
mock drafts.
Unfair act.
I'm ready to do mock drafts, Tyler.
It's a PUA. Should we do one mock draft next week?
Yeah, let's do. Oh. Okay. Okay.
You want to do a mock draft right now? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Which site should we use?
I
kind of want to use
whichever you feel like. Whatever feels right.
I know last year we were having major problems trying to use the NFL mock draft database one.
Yeah.
Like
it would
stream would lag like a mother.
Yeah, the ads that it
because mother's lag.
It just
mock drafts are there, but let's try it though.
Ready to mock
it's one of the nicer
people's drafts, says Goose.
Drew says,
"Yeah,
I love this chat. Look at I can't decide which one of these I want to read because they're all great.
I know you guys have been crushing.
Oh my gosh,
chat! It's been great."
Drew said, "I think the pressure got to Quinn Ewers with everybody calling for Arch Manning." That
I'm sure that lives. I'm sure that's in his head at the very least.
Ooh, Adam says mock draft database crashes every time. I mean, we could go back to PFF like we always do.
Yep. Pro Football Network's got one, of course.
The Pro Football Network one frustrates me because of all the trades. Like it's like outrageous trades.
Right.
Maybe we could. Let's just. I have the PFF one up.
All right.
What's nice about the
time to do a mock draft.
I'm trying to see, does it let us? Okay, we can do multiple teams on PFF. Yes. Oh shoot, and then we got to call it because it's
multiple teams.
We're at the 1 hour mark. Let's do a 4-round mock draft.
Controlling every team.
No, you pick a team and I'll pick a team.
Oh, okay. Wait, you don't
want to do the Packers, but I'm trying to think like who else would be.
All right.
I hate the Titans, so it might be fun.
We'll put the Packers on there.
Right. You want to be the Packers?
No, just put them on there. We collectively make picks for the Packers, and then we each pick another team.
Okay. All right. I like that.
To pick.
I'll do Steelers. Give me the Steelers.
All right. Well, then perfect. That'll make it fun. I will pick Denver. Everyone's next to each other.
Hate Denver.
Super fun. Here we go.
Hate Denver.
Plus, I get to pick first.
All right. The live stream is still working. We just got a little notification that freaked me out. So I think we're still on.
I think you're
all right.
Good, yeah. How many rounds? 4? You said.
Yeah, let's just do 4 because we're past time. We're 5 minutes past time, and I got to go.
All right.
So
I'll make it quick. I know who I'm picking the first round, unless he's not available for Denver.
Start draft. So Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders went back to back at the top. That's ridiculous.
Don't do it, Colts. Colts. Don't do it. Oh,
Colts took
Miami did it.
Now hold on a second here. I'm curious. Where did Abdul Carter go? He went 5th overall. He went after Tetro McMillan.
Why are the Patriots taking McMillan first?
The Giants took Travis Hunter.
Why have you done
what
that?
in the world is this? This is.
Right. There's
hey,
no way.
Wait a minute. We just got a.
No.
We just got a dono.
JJ, this is the darkest timeline.
We just got a dono from Tyler Dershel.
Okay.
$5, and the note says mock draft incentivizer. Look at this. If we make the chat happy, they pay us money.
Mock drafts. They pay us to do mock drafts. This is the dream.
This is the best timeline. We get paid to do mock drafts.
Oh,
Thank you, Tyler. Tyler, you're the GOAT. We love you so much.
Look at our boy Genty though.
Where'd he go? Genty,
you don't want to know, man.
You go to the Bears? Yeah, he did. Well, it does not be an okay person. It doesn't make no sense though, because with freaking Ben Johnson there, and the fact that he talked the Lions front office into drafting Jahmyr Gibbs at like pick 6 or whatever they did. Makes sense.
I'm going to be upset again. Make no mistake. I am ready to get hurt. Okay.
Tyler Warren to the Dolphins. They could use Tyler Warren.
The Dolphins would do everything but take offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Okay. Please stop. Okay.
All right. So you're freaking
doing
Broncos
the thing.
On the clock.
Yeah. May I see?
Yeah.
Defensive tackles. Por favor.
Find him. There we go.
Yes. All right. With the 20th pick, I will be taking Walter Nolan, defensive tackle from Mississippi. All right. These are off limits. Nope.
There's some good tackles here. I'm a little tempted to give them a tackle.
There are some good tackles.
I'm curious. I'm a big time Matthew Golden fan. Starting to become.
Yeah, dog.
Anyways.
Yeah, dog.
But I think that the Steelers, it's tough. Like they need a tackle, but they also really need.
Going to give up on Broderick?
I don't think they're going to do that yet, but it's
and they got Fautano.
It's iffy. I think I'm going to go defensive line here, though.
Oh man, that's so funny. Honestly,
why?
It's just because Green Bay could definitely use it, and we're both taking defensive tackles in the first. That's objectively hilarious. I mean, yeah, Cam Hayward's not going to be there forever. I like Keanu Benton. They could use another.
Yeah, I mean the problem is we're still early enough in the draft cycle that a lot of these guys I don't really have an opinion on yet. I've watched a lot of Tyreek Williams. I've watched a lot of Derek Harmon. Watched some Alfred Collins, and then the other 3 guys in here. Like I've never even watched a game for Kentucky for the 2024 season yet. So I'm still behind on that.
It's definitely interesting.
Tell me about TJ Sanders.
Explosive, speed to power guy.
But they don't have
the type of
anything
player
in here
you're
on
definitely getting. He made some splash plays today.
Screw it. This is where we're going. TJ Sanders.
All right.
You're welcome, Steelers.
Okay.
Oh, Matthew Colton.
Okay.
Matthew Colton.
Okay. I don't want to be here anymore. Time to leave. No. They're not going to take him. We know better.
So the Packers
would definitely take Shamar Stewart.
Well, they do need some help at edge.
Yep.
So they love them some SEC boys, but is Texas A&M actually SEC, or are they?
Here's the thing.
SEC.
They do love SEC guys, but what they love more than SEC guys are 20-year-old edge rushers with little to no production and tons of athleticism and upside. They love it.
So Kenyatta Jackson.
He said, Goody's like, you son of a gun, I'll do it again. I'm in. You son of a gun, I'm in.
I mean, I
do
predict.
It again.
I predict. I'm going to look at the analysis of what the top pick for the Packers is right here. I'm going to guess it's Shamar Stewart. Do you have a different guess?
I think it's Harmon. I think it's Harmon, but
Harmon.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Well, it's kind of nobody. So it's Barron and Jack Sawyer.
Bold of the simulator to think that Barron's actually going to be in play for them.
This doesn't even make any sense.
I've got some inside info on that one.
Tell us.
Bold to assume that Barron's even going to be available at 23.
Okay.
I think, honestly.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance it's not.
So who do you want to go here? I mean, we need corner help. We need defensive end. We need.
I'm taking the
defensive tackle.
Big dog. I'm taking big dog Armamembo from Missouri. I will do it.
Who do we still have left at defensive line?
There's some guys. Harmon's at 86, which I find very funny.
How old is
PFF simulator?
Kind of old, isn't he?
I don't know.
How old is Tyreek?
I would say we've got 15 seconds to decide.
Okay.
We got 4 rounds to do.
Kind of want to take Derek Harmon, to be honest.
Right, do it.
I'm going to take Derek friggin' Harmon.
3
projected third rounder.
Box, man.
Projected third rounder, Derek Harmon.
See, that's funny because if you look at the consensus big board on Mock Draft Database, he's nowhere near 86th.
Yeah, is he a first rounder or a second rounder?
I think he's like 33rd or something on there. 34th.
Oh, I closed the window for the chat. I didn't see what the guys have been saying. Abdul Carter better not fall into Chicago trade up range.
Yeah, Josh Simmons.
Do a Vikings mock draft. Only 3 picks.
That would have been a quick mock. Yeah, that would have got us.
Oh, it would be gorgeous.
That's funny. That's pretty good from Adam. Matthew Golden be a heck of a Steelers wide receiver first 4 years before.
You know what? I need to find a betting site and bet on Matthew Golden be a Steeler because that's going to happen. That's a Matthew Golden. Are you kidding me? That is the most Steeler name that I've ever Steelered.
Yeah, this is Denver.
Cam Scatabo.
Give me Caleb Johnson. Give me Caleb Johnson.
Yeah. Denver. Yeah, but here's the thing. Caleb Johnson would be a good pick for Denver, but they're going to go Cam Scatabo because they like having.
No, I'm picking. This is my team.
Okay.
This is my team. I agree with you, but this is my team today.
Okay, and then the Steelers. Let's go ahead and give them some.
They need Higgins.
Curious here.
You gave them the
get Dylan Gabriel.
No, they need Higgins. No, they need Higgins.
But I'm just thinking.
No, don't do it.
You want to have Jaden Higgins?
Yeah.
Tell me why you're saying that. Tell me about Jaden Higgins.
Oh, because I feel as though Green Bay fans are really going to want him in the second round. That's just the vibe I'm getting. There's a lot of people who like him. Big body receiver. His drop rate is like almost negligible. Runs a lot of good stuff. In breakers, out breakers. Really good at getting separation at the top. Like I feel like Pittsburgh needs a wide receiver too, like worse than anything. I feel like they're going to take him right in front of Green Bay.
I just realized the Chiefs are going to find a way to draft Kyron Lacy this year.
Yeah. 7th round.
Let me see.
Makuba, Emin Worry. There's some studs at safety.
Yeah, there are. You know, maybe Makuba.
So.
Makuba's here. I'm going with Makuba for the Steelers.
Makuba's pretty good. Yeah.
He's really good. I mean, he's probably the 3rd best safety in college football this year behind Caleb Downs and Xavier Watts.
Yeah. I mean, he was... Emin Worry was pretty good.
Who we taking for the Packers here?
We got to look at edge.
Let's look at edge and at tackle. We'll start with edge here.
Yeah, let's get edge.
Oh, Jordan Burch. What if we got?
I was gonna say we could go Oregon. Yeah, you did.
Did we take Derek Harmon?
Yeah, you did. Could do it.
I think that's my vote. Jordan Burch. Let's just look at the tackles real quick.
Why not?
Yeah,
Ursary if you want your run blocker, but like,
oops, lost my idea.
Yeah,
I don't really think of Jordan Burch so much as an edge guy, just because he was able to move around a bit, and so I don't know. I think of him as more of like a traditional 3-4 defensive end. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Almost like a Devontae Wyatt type or a Carl Brooks type.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking Jordan Birch.
We're taking him though. Drew asked if Darian Porter was available. Possibly he was at corner.
Dylan Gabriel went pick number 1 in the 3rd round. Marcus
Adam Huddle wanted. Yeah.
Who did Adam Huddle want?
Mbao. Okay, Denver. We've picked a D tackle, and we've picked a running back.
Joel for this says we have Pooper.
It's true.
All right.
Let me see here. I would like to see tight end for Denver.
Are there any good tight ends left? Let's see. No.
Mason Taylor's fine. Mason Taylor's okay. Gadsden's interesting. Basically a receiver, though.
Luke Lachey.
I need receiver, too, actually. That's true.
Luke Lachey.
Think about that. Oh, Trey Harris. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll do that.
So, did I get the Steelers a wide receiver yet? I don't think I did.
No, because I think you took Makuba, right?
Kind of dried up a bit here. Sorry, you guys aren't getting a wide receiver this year.
That stinks.
Is Pat Bryant any good?
He's just not very explosive, which hurts.
Brew McCoy. I think
I like Ty Felton a decent bit, but not here.
So I took Makuba last time, right?
You took Makuba, and then you also took TJ.
I did, yeah.
Don't take the guy I want for Green Bay at corner.
I'm kind of thinking Thomas here from Florida State.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it though. I'm gonna give them.
Oh, do it. Yes.
I'm gonna Will Howard the Steelers here.
Look at this.
Pick 85. Here you go.
Look at that.
He's the heir apparent to Big Ben.
Chargers. I'm so upset with you twice.
We got Kansas super fan Jake Schyvinck.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. This is so unfortunate. Gosh, Maxwell Harrison's such a good player, but he weighs 179. So I would
Drew wants us to look at offensive line and cornerback. So let's do that.
Charles Grant's still there, but he's like exclusively left tackle.
I would like to take an interior offensive lineman.
I like Parrish. I like Dotson. Both a decent bit.
Yeah, but I want an interior offensive lineman here.
That's fine. I would look at tackles who could probably be on interior offensive line.
Oh, there's no way Donovan Jackson's still available. Is it? Oh, he's right here. This is the guy. This is the guy.
Do it.
Donovan Jackson, and it's not impossible that he would play center in Green Bay. Not impossible. He hasn't really done it, but
he's done it, lads. All right.
See, Donovan Jackson's perfect for Green Bay because
that's great.
Career guard. You're going to play guard in the NFL. But then when they needed him in 2024 at left tackle, they called on him, and he delivered.
Yeah. Can I see linebacker, please?
You may.
All right.
I can freaking find it. Here it is. Kobe King. Cody Simon.
Yes.
Cody Simon's not a bad pick.
No, he's not. Actually.
Jay Higgins. Come on.
Yeah, Higgins.
Is that the guy?
Still.
Is that the one?
Yeah. We're going to do that.
All right.
I thought about Mason Taylor here from LSU for them, but I like Higgins there.
Steelers, I got.
Oh, yeah, this is nice. This is a good new feature here.
D-line safety.
So you don't have to
they kind of need a. Are there any wide receivers left? Jalen
Knowles actually not too bad. There is one, but like he's in trouble, so I don't think he could pick. Wait, Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh.
No, they don't. They don't draft the receivers who have known issues. They draft the guys who are secretly psychotic and then act normal in Pittsburgh and then go somewhere else. And
then I
can't think of a non-offensive way to finish that, but
yeah, that's fine. I mean, Mills. Yeah, the sort by team thing is massive. They needed that. I did not need to scroll to be like, who'd I pick in the second round?
They do need.
You need a corner? I got your guy. I have him. Yes. There's a guy that's 5'10", 190 from Louisville. Sound familiar?
Yeah. But this is
I thought he had
this is for the Steelers.
Right. So then I would say pick Noel Williams from Cal. But
just
they don't
you
pick
want
guys
Riley
out
to be
west.
Available for the Packers.
No, that's fine. Actually, no, yeah. The Steelers don't pick anybody out west, so they actually don't.
Well,
so that doesn't work.
No, Cal moved. They're no longer in the Pac-12.
That's right, they're in the ACC,
now in
so
the
they
ACC,
have to.
So
they have to actually watch them now. That's true. You make some good points there. You make some.
I think I'm going to go with Johnny Cornelius. Don't die. If we have to, I'm not in Mobile. I can't resuscitate you. Literally, my display name says, "Wish I was in Mobile." Oh, he left. Oh, I can see him in the little Oh, he fell over. Well, that's unfortunate. You will be missed, Jake. He's getting back up. He's purple.
I've fallen and I can't get up. All right. Well, I see you haven't picked anyone yet.
You really shrewded that up there,
Steelers.
Jake. All right, I'm taking a Johnny Cornelius to the Steelers here.
Sick. That means Green Bay gets 2.
Now, our chat here are intelligent, and we don't have to worry about them saying stupid stuff. But there are some people out there who might be watching and go, "You reached so bad on this pick. I mean, the guy's like consensus 250, and you took him here." It's like, bro, it's freaking January. Chill.
The pick is Quincy Riley. No question. That's who we're picking. Got to.
That's a wrap. So we took 2 Oregon guys, Ohio State,
and
Oregon,
Ohio State, and Louisville. All players Green Bay's taken recently. That's cool.
Now, some of you might say, "Hey, the Packers would never take an Ohio State player," and to that I would say, "But he's an offensive lineman, so they would."
I race you, Corey Linsley, Josh Myers.
Yes. So,
wow,
Broncos
Denver's grade is tough. Oh, look at but my
bottom 14% of drafts.
But no one else's draft has my level of symmetry right there. Mississippi, Iowa. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hear a lot of people call that school Mississippi, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, they did not like my Derek Harmon pick in round 1.
Yeah, because they think he ranked 86th. That's why, which is just not true at all.
Honestly, if we would have just flipped Jordan Birch and Derek Harmon, the order we took him in, then they would have liked it. Which, frankly, I think Jordan Birch might get drafted before Derek Harmon.
It's possible. I know Brugler had him second round of Green Bay.
Okay.
We're in the bottom 5%. That's tough, scene. We don't like to see that.
I would tweet this, but Twitter doesn't like us the same way that our drafts channel does. Drew says we have a history of taking Ohio State centers. That's true. Adam asks, "Is Quincy as spicy as Jair?"
Not quite. But maybe this week of practice, maybe he conjures up something a little bit extra for it. He's been good so far. He is one of like the guys I was like, because I said this on my thing, JJ. Everybody talked about like how he's a nickel. He was going to come in at like 180, sub 180. Then he weighed in at 192, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." And so I'm like, "Okay, I'll take a peek at the film." I quite like it, and he played very well today. He is not going to be ranked 171st.
No.
By April, I promise you that. So, and I agree. Too many people are on No Williams. That's why I'm moving over to Quincy Riley. Okay. So that's the goal. That was fun. What do you think of your Steelers one? It's also bottom 5%.
Well, I noticed something. So it says draft rank, bottom 5% of drafts, overall draft grade D+, blah, blah, blah. What's in a grade down here? They want me to click this. I can just tell you. Meth. That's it.
Remember these mocks, guys.
I could not care
all of these could be
about...
A's, could be A drafts in 3 months.
Yeah.
Like easily.
Right. Like before the draft actually gets here, these mocks could be A+++
yes.
by draft day.
Yeah.
Because these people don't know. You know, the people and the sites, like, they don't have any type of consensus or anything.
You need to look at, like, I've looked at previous mocks we've done, like even the ones that I did in like October, November, December from last year leading up to last year's draft. It is insane how much changes. Last year, JJ, I tweeted last October when the Packers were struggling in 23, I tweeted a mock that had Jaden Daniels going 47th. And I was like, wow. I would take the second.
Wow.
Heck yes. Right?
Like, should have gone first.
Crazy. That's what's crazy. There's so much to change wild. Even still. So it's going to be fun, though.
Drew says the combine will change everything. Yeah, for people like us. Yeah, sure, we'll get more information than we currently have. And the NFL teams will get to talk to guys and do medicals. Yeah. The medicals will shake some stuff up for sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I hate to mock draft and run, but I mean we gotta go. I hate to say it. I stayed on here 27 minutes after I was supposed to get off. So, listen, love all you. Thank you so much for
thumbs up.
Thank you so much, Tyler, for your super chat. To over this, DM me about the schedule issue. Let's see if we can get this figured out. Because I think Drew and I, what did I call his name? Jake and I can figure out our schedule as needed.
Yes, that's true.
I was looking at the comment from Drew saying, "Have a good one," and it just my brain shut off.
Listen, that happens.
Listen,
draft season really puts your brain into some tough spots. So,
in the words of the late great Mr. Ed Policy, go Pack, go.